Now, in the final part of today's show, our property expert Luke Doonan is back on the sofa to answer more of your questions. 0207 173 5555 is the number if you'd like a word. I have to say, you will need to dial quick. We've got a lot of calls online already. Rather than ask you to repeat what people can phone in about, tell me, what do you make of just the property situation at the moment?
Personally, I don't think it's as bad as the media, the press, or even the government are kind of saying, to be honest. I think there's a lot of people that bought over the past 3, 4, 5 years at the top of the market, and if they need to sell now, they're going to be in trouble. But I think for the majority of people who are sensible with money and have, say, fixed-rate mortgages or even tracker mortgages, about 30% of people in the UK have tracker mortgages. So there's a lot of people out there having massive savings at the moment, and obviously it depends what they do with that money. If they're sensible, they can reduce their mortgages with it, but it's just simply not as bad as people say. I'm probably the only person out there saying that, but it's not that bad.
Isn't part of the problem that no one's selling? They're only selling if they have to sell.
Sure.
And then buyers are looking around, looking at the market, seeing if anybody puts their house up, they're obviously desperate to sell. Let's squeeze them right down, and that in turn dissuades people from giving it a go.
People are definitely holding on, but then if you're looking at buying and you're a first-time buyer now, it's a perfect time to start buying. It's a really good time. And if you're looking at new build properties, it's a definitely, if you get a developer, particularly at the end, the developer's end of year, they're just giving away such massive discounts on new build flats.
Okay.
So it's a really good time to buy if you have a big deposit. And I think mortgage rates are still quite difficult. Well, mortgages are still quite hard to get. I think come springtime, it's all going to become a lot easier. So between now and spring is a very good time to start buying.
OK, enough from me. Let's throw it open to you guys. Your questions to Luke, please. Amy, who's on the line first, please?
OK, first caller is Helen. She's on line 1.
Morning, Helen.
Hi, good morning.
Hi there. Luke's here. What's up with you? What's the situation?
Well, I'm a proud owner currently of 2 houses.
Right, good for you.
I only want one.
So
what do I do? Do I sell? Do I rent? What do I do?
Whereabouts are your houses, firstly?
Well, one's in Arundel in West Sussex, which is very nice, and one's in Chichester.
OK. And have you thought about being a landlady? Because I think with the location you've got, that's a brilliant location.
Which one, the Arundel?
Yeah, really, really nice. I know that area quite well. Yeah. If you're looking long-term, I might be tempted to try and rent it for a year, just to see what happens with the market.
Right, OK.
I mean, being a landlord...
Well, are you saying, I mean, I'm just trying to read between the lines here, are you saying to Helen, don't sell if you don't have to, because the price is you're going to get screwed down on the price of the market?
I think so, yeah. There's actually still a lot of people looking in that area for second homes. So I would maybe wait till the market improves, I would say within a year, 18 months. If you can put up with the hassle of letting, I'd probably try and let it for a while.
Right, OK. One very quick question then. For example, with properties on the internet and things like that, if people are looking at them and they're empty and there's no forward chain, do people automatically assume that it's a repossession? No,
not necessarily. There's lots of situations. Someone could have died, relocation, that kind of thing. But
I think it might be worth me putting some furniture in the house.
I would, and if you do decide to sell, definitely don't look desperate. I wouldn't have an empty house, and I'd probably have heating on, have lights on, make it feel like a sort of a real home. That will attract buyers as well.
Good advice. Good advice. OK, Helen, good luck to you. I have to say, slightly envious. Thank you for the call. Let's have another one, please.
OK, next caller is Shamsi on line 2.
Morning, Shamsi.
Morning.
Hi there. What's up with you? What's the question?
Well, I'm coming to the end of a fixed-rate mortgage, and I've been looking at new deals, and I've noticed that the ones with the higher fees, you get a lower rate of percentage, and the ones with the lower fees, you get a higher rate of percentage. So which is the best one to go with?
Good question.
What's your rate at the moment?
I think it's about 5.1. It was fixed for 5 years.
OK, and when does it come to an end?
In June, so I can start looking at the beginning of April.
Sure, that's perfect, actually, because the government are going to start guaranteeing some lending. People like Northern Rock, obviously, because we own Northern Rock now. So I would wait till April time, and I think you'll find that some of the fixed rates, the fees come down. And I know there's fixed rates out there at the moment, about 2.29, 2.5.
Yeah. Is that right?
Really
fixed for how long?
Two years. To fork out a huge amount in fees. So, like, some of them have maybe got £2 grand fees, which I haven't got spared, you know what I mean?
Sure. I mean, in some cases, you can add that to the loan, short term. Personally, I'm a bit safe when it comes to money and mortgages. I would probably go for a fixed rate, but I would wait till April, May. I'm not saying the fees are going to be written off completely, but it's going to be a lot better sort of springtime to start looking for a mortgage. And I personally would probably go fixed rate because I think there's going to be some cracking deals.
OK, that's interesting stuff as well. Fixed rate as opposed to tracker mortgages, because I suppose if you get a tracker mortgage now, you start one, you're going to say, well, the only way it's ever going to go is up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyone on a tracker who got a tracker in the last, 5, 6 years, fantastic.
Yeah, but now...
They've capped them now, and they're really high, expensive fees. Personally, I would look at fixed rates.
The day of the tracker is gone.
I think so.
Yeah, OK.
Unfortunately.
I didn't have one, was the pity.
Oh dear.
And they're whispering in my ear, I've got one, I've got one. I hate this show sometimes. Let's take another call, please.
OK, next caller is Dee on line 3.
Morning, Dee.
Morning.
Hi there, Luke's here. What would you like to ask him?
Well, I'm in a one-bedroom flat in Devon. We had a baby at the end of last year, and we are now desperate for space.
Right.
Our house was on the market last year, but we only had 3 viewings, and we obviously didn't sell. I'm just wondering, how much longer have I got to sort of hang in here? I've looked into renting out the property, but the rental value wouldn't cover the mortgage payment.
OK, and I mean, the question that's in my mind is it all about price? Would you think about reducing the price to get more buyers?
Well, yeah, I mean, we did reduce the price quite significantly. It was on originally at 130, and it dropped right down to 115 before we took it off. And I don't really want to drop any more than that, otherwise I won't get the mortgage back.
OK, are you looking in the same area that you're living in now?
Yeah.
OK. As Matthew said, I mean, basically, either look at dropping the price slightly more in the hope that you're going to then pick up a bargain along the way, or I predict, and I wish I had a crystal ball, but I can't say, but I think early spring we're going to see certainly a lot more activity in the market when mortgages are a lot more easier to come by.
I mean, Dee's maybe lucky here because she's managed to take it off. But if you are desperate to sell and you are struggling to get viewings, let alone buyers, what would you do? If you can't wait till May, say, or April, what would you do?
Personally, if it was me, I would probably look at auctions. Lots of people are selling at auctions. If you put in your set price that you won't go beyond, and then it's just a really quick way of selling property almost immediately, so you don't have the 2-3 month wait. It's a really good way at the moment. Auctions are really hot at the moment.
Ultimately, have you got to look at trimming the price?
Yes, I'd say yeah. But okay. I don't think for too long. I think as soon as the lending becomes easier and mortgages become more accessible, then the market will start to sort of turn, but very slowly.
OK. I'm just going to ask you some other questions, if I may.
Sure.
The 8p mortgage, what do you make of that? I mean, is that just a gimmick?
Yes, complete gimmick. I think at the moment anyone wants to get a headline with regard to property, Bank of England and finance. I think you need to look at big institutions who are offering good long-term fixed rates.
Well, big institutions now synonymous with being a bit dodgy, aren't they?
Yeah, that's true.
Now, the other thing is house prices. I mean, everywhere I've read, house prices are down, down, and then Halifax suddenly says last month they went up, what was it, 1.9%. Yeah. Are they moving up?
They are, but I mean, again, when the media, and I'm not trashing the press here, but they look at house prices as a whole of the UK, which you can't really do. London, for example, I would say has about 15 different markets within London. So some areas have crept up a couple of percent, some have fallen 15%. So it's very personal and general to kind of your situation.
But you see green shoots?
100%.
There we go. What a lovely note to end on, and end it we must, as we have no more time, I'm afraid. No more time for any more calls either. If you picked up the phone this morning, thank you. Hope we're of service. If you didn't get through, sorry. And as for you, Luke, I have to say, many thanks. Come back and see us again soon. Cheers.
Indeed. Thank you.